All right, let's keep going with 3.4. Let's try another one. Let's make sure this is working for you. So here we go. So they're giving us the point minus 1/8, and they're given m is minus 4. So try that one. Same kind of thing. And what's the key phrase that will help you remember you're supposed to do this whole thing? What's the key words? Find the equation right there. Yeah. When you see that on the test, and you will a couple times, you'll see find the equation. Oh yeah, that's that whole I got to do the new slope formula, right? With the blanks at the back, the simplified slope formula with the blanks at the back, and plug it in, cross multiply, that whole thing. Give it a try. Give you a second. Feel free to check with your neighbors. Let's see. So I'm going to plug in the stuff. So the minus 4 goes there. And the x and the y value, the minus 1 and the 8, plug in. So what do we get? Let's see. So minus 4, and the y is 8, the x is minus 1. Good so far? Stuff plugged in? Right? Is that all right? Everybody good there? Now what do we do with this one? So I plugged in the x right here behind the x and the y behind the y. Watch out, because it's kind of natural to just grab the first thing, that x value, and put it on the top because it just comes first, but that's wrong, right? X has to go down the bottom with x and y with y, so watch out for that. Okay, and now, so negative 4, you just put that over 1, you go diagonal, cross multiply, right? Let's see what we got. Minus 4 times x plus 1, right? This double negative here, it's going to be plus. So equals 1 times y minus 8. Are we all good to there? Double negative is positive. So, and then you distribute that minus there. So minus 4x minus 4. And distribute the 1. Y minus 8. We get to there. And what are we supposed to even do now? What is y saying? What is y always saying? I want to be alone. So we're going to add the 8, right? Add the 8 over, right? Because y wants to be alone. So add the 8 to both sides. Boom. Y's got his wish. He's alone. And we've got y equals minus 4x plus 4. Right? No, not plus 4. Yeah, plus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. Yeah. There we go. Y's alone. We got the equation. Questions on that one? No questions? We're happy? You look kind of medium. I'm not sure you look happy. Are you not happy? Questions I can answer on that one? Does math make you happy? Does passing math make you happy? Hopefully. Understanding and getting through math and on with your life? All right. Anything I can help with that? That's my goal for you as well. All right. Just let me know. So what do we got here? So same thing, right? Got the point 0, 4 and got m is negative 4. Try that one. And what's the key words that are going to jump off the test for you? Find the equation. Day after tomorrow, you see that, you go, find the, it'll be at least 2 of them, maybe 3, 2 or 3. They'll say, find the equation. You go, oh yeah. That's that whole simplified slope formula thing, right? M equals y minus blank over x minus blank with the blanks at the back. The plain y and plain x with the blanks at the back. Plug those in, cross multiply. This is Mr. Herring's special method. Matthew does something different. And you got to deal with a lot more fractions with their method. entrenched in fractions with their method. So plug in the slope, put the x behind the x and the y behind the y. Okay, yeah.
Couldn't we even just skip all those steps since it's already giving us a line intercept?
Oh yeah, good observation. Yeah, I didn't even notice. You're totally right. Yeah, I'll say that at the end, but yeah, good job, good job. So, all right. So, if you didn't make that great observation like me, then you got to put this over 1, go diagonal, diagonal. Right? That good so far? So, it's going to be -4 times x minus 0 and 1 times y minus 4. Good, good, good. Distribute. What's -4 times 0? 0. And now, last thing, what does y always saying? I want to be alone, so add 4 to both sides. Cancels out. Y equals -4x plus 4. There's our equation. Yeah. Yeah, she was pointing out that from the beginning, this was the y-intercept, wasn't it? Over 0 up 4, so we knew it was going to be 4 at the back. I didn't notice that they were just giving, they don't normally give you the other point as the y-intercept. If they do, boom, that's it, and you're done. You don't even need to do all that work. It was all for nothing. But anyway, it's good practice, because they don't normally do that. Good observation, though. So how many people got that one? How are we doing? Can I see a show of hands? How many got that one right? Okay, about a little more than half. Looks like a majority. Okay, good. So I don't want to go too fast. We're about the next one, the next like 4 or 5, are going to take this exact same thing, and they're just going to add one step. So you get to continue practicing this. They're just going to make you do one other step first, and here's what they're going to do. They're not going to give you the slope. See how this one just handed me m equals -4, slope equals -4 right away? What they're going to do, instead of giving you a direct slope like that, they're going to give you 4 numbers. You know, number. They're going to give you 4 numbers, and then you get your own slope. Remember the y2, y1, x2, x1? You just do that yourself. Just plug in the 4 numbers, you'll get a slope, and then the rest of the problem's the same. That's the only difference. It's just all this, but you get your own slope first, because they won't give you a slope. That's what we're about to do. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so 1722. So let me just write that down for us all. 1722 and 27. So you see how they're not, I don't see slope anywhere. I don't see m anywhere. There is no slope anywhere, right? So what, instead of giving me a slope, they're handing me these 2 points, but I can get my own slope, right? So just go ahead and get your own slope. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2, right? And we can just get our own slope. Like that. So do that first off. Get your own slope. Get your own slope. So you guys get your own slope, and then once you've got a slope, the problem's the same. You're going to use the slope formula twice here, actually, right? The second time you're going to use it the simple way, and you only need one pair of the numbers. You can use either pair. It doesn't matter. You only need two numbers for the second time. You with me? Let's see if this is making sense. So slope will equal y2. Here, let me write the thing. So y2, 7 minus 22, right? y2 minus y1, 7 minus 22, over x2 minus x1, 2 minus 17. Good? So that's what? Minus 15 over, minus 15. So it's plus 1? Slope just comes out plus 1. That was convenient. Good so far? Did you guys get slope plus 1? Two negatives make positive. 15 over 15 is 1. Now, okay, so now what do we do? Well, that means they just handed me m is 1. Or I just figured out for myself. M is 1, right? We've got our own slope. The m is 1. So now you write, in part 2 here, you write the slope formula, and we're going to use it the second way, the simpler way, where you only put the two numbers in instead of all four. Right? Plain y, plain x, just put in the two numbers instead of all four. Is everybody with me on that? Just put in the two numbers in the back and the slope. You just found this slope, right? So plug in that slope. And what two numbers? It doesn't matter what two. You could grab the first two or you could grab the second two. You can't mix and match. You can't take one from one from the other. That'll mess you up. But grab the first two or it'll work the same either way. You only need two for the second part, for the finish. So just put the x in the back of x and the y in the back of y. And finish the same. Do exactly the same thing that we did on the last four problems. Right? Cross multiply, get y alone, that whole thing. So what are we going to get? 1 equals y minus over x minus. And the y is 22 goes in the back and 17 goes in the back. Like that. Is that good? Making sense? You know what to do now, right? Cross multiply. Put that 1 over 1, huh? You go diagonal, diagonal. Can you do that? Go ahead and carry that out. Cross multiply. So go 1, x minus 17, 1, y minus 22. Is that good? And then distribute. And distribute. We get to there. Let me bring it up here. What do we do to finish getting x alone? X and I want to be alone. That's what x is always saying. Or y is saying. Add 22 to both sides. We're getting y alone, not x. So y will be x plus 5. And we're done. Did that make sense? It was the same as the last four problems, except we had the extra step in the beginning, getting our own slope with the four numbers plugged in. So we used the slope formula twice, right? Questions on that one? All right. It'll be good practice. Okay. So minus 3, 3, and minus 1, minus 5. There you go. Let me jump in with you. So slope is, so a lot of this is just careful. It's got to be really careful. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2, right? So remember, you have the built-in subtractions right there as part of the formula, right? You got to keep those straight and then carefully plug stuff in. So y2 is negative 5 minus 3, right? And then negative 1 minus negative 3. See the double negative? You got to get that, right? To see that? Because it's negative 1 minus negative 3, huh? There's the negative from the formula and then the negative that's on the 3. If you miss that, it's ball game over. Next test, 20 questions. Okay, because I got to keep it small because they're kind of long like this. 20 questions means 5 points a question to be 100. 5 times 20. That means half a grade a question. Means if you miss that sign, there goes half a grade. Half a grade. So you got to make sure that you don't miss those signs. You got to be careful. So there's 2 negatives right there. Positive. Right? So then what do we get? Minus 5 minus 3 is minus 8 on the top. Minus 1 plus 3. That's 2. Slope is minus 4. So we got our slope. Slope's minus 4. Now that we have our slope, now we start again, this time with the slope formula with the blanks at the back. The easier, simpler. We're using the slope formula twice. Once the old way with all 4 numbers, and now the new way with the blanks at the back, right? Okay. And then I don't know why it keeps doing that. And then we put the numbers at the back. What goes at the back? You can do this pair or the other pair. It doesn't really matter for the second part. I'll put but you got to get them straight. The x has to go behind the x. So this is the x, goes behind the x. This is the y, the plane 3, goes behind. And there's built-in subtraction symbols in those formulas. Negatives, the death of many otherwise well-intended students, right? Negatives, you just got to practice. Practice, practice, practice. All right. So now plug in the slope. Slope is minus 4. Put that in right there. So we get minus 4 equals y minus 3 over x plus 3. Put this over 1. Diagonal, diagonal. Minus 4 times x plus 3. Whoops. What am I doing? Times x plus 3 equals 1 times y minus 3. Distribute. Minus 4x minus 12. Distribute y minus 3. Good to there so far? Right? You just blanks at the back, cross multiply, diagonal, diagonal, distribute. Last thing, y is always saying, I want to be alone. So last step is add 3 to both sides. Minus 4x minus 9 is y. There it is. Minus 4x. Oh, can you read that? That's minus 9. Minus 4x minus 9. We're done. So y is minus 4x minus 9. So I added 3. Minus 12 plus 3 is minus 9. Huh? Good there? Questions on that one? Is that making sense? Like you can do that? If you're having trouble, this is super important. Super. We'll do this again. There'll be like 2 or 3 of these on the exam. So you need to. So that's why today at what time? Roberto was available this morning, 8:30 to 10:30. He's done here in 20 minutes, so he'll be out of here before. But you could see him tomorrow, not till 2, huh? Yeah, so there's other tutors over there, though. So you could go after class. There's other tutors available that'll be around, or you go before class tomorrow. Roberto's not around till tomorrow at 2, huh? So anyway, go see him when you can, or go see whatever tutors over there. You go over the YouTubes again, work through these again and again and again. That's what I had to do. Really, there's no magic formulas. I would be totally confused in class, and I would have it down on paper, and I would go over it and over it. I would write every stitch down. Let me encourage you, if you're not writing every little piece down, you're just not really even trying. I mean, that's just not even giving it an effort, right? You got to write. I many times didn't know. I mean, like about half the time, I didn't know what that teacher was doing up there on the board. And I would just say, I'm getting it all down, and I'm going to spend hours later looking it over, redoing it, trying to figure out what that teacher did. That's what it takes. That's what people who are passing math and science classes are doing. That's what they're doing. There's these rumors out there that, no, you just either know it or you don't. You're just either born a math person or it's impossible. No, that's not true. You can do it. You can do it. I told you about the lady I had first day of class. First day of class, I told you about the lady I had a few years ago, convinced me that anybody could do it. She was my age, she was old in her 50s, her brain was already going, and she'd done lots of drugs as a youngin', and she was now a drug counselor, and her brain was fried, and you could see it. When I would do things, she was slower than anybody in here. She was really slow to pick up those concepts. I loved her. She was like my favorite student. And she worked like a dog. She'd go over there 4 hours every day, in the tutoring center, working through those problems. That was in the 18-week semester. She spent about 20 hours a week in that tutoring center. She got a B. She was solid. So you can do it, but will you do it? Will you put that kind of time in? You can do it.